30 Creepy Hotel Stories. According to Reddit, number 30. I was on a trip around Southeast Asia in 2012. We were staying at a hotel guest house thing in Cambodia with my traveling companion. It was the middle of the night. Both of us woke up to the sound of our door handle jiggling. The door opens. My friend says, "What the fuck?" in a confused, just woken up state, and this scared the person off. We see him or her running away, and we ask each other, did this really happen? But to make things even stranger, I got up, locked the door, and both of us just went back to sleep as if nothing happened. I wonder what would have happened if we didn't hear the person come on. As I said, the door was locked, and we heard the person trying to pick the lock or do whatever he or she did, and knowing people are home doesn't seem like a smart time to rob someone. I wonder if these were both girls in this story. Jeez, boy. Well. Number 29. My mom went to this hotel where the TV would turn on by itself a few times a day, as well as doors closing in her room. It was a big room that had stairs in it, somewhere in Montauk, New York. Montauk. Now that's creepy. Number 28. Not creepy really, but staying in a North Korean hotel was nerve-wracking. You have the distinct feeling that you're being watched even when the power went out. Perhaps especially when the power went out. Why y'all going to North Korea, man? Somebody says, you can't just stay in a North Korean hotel and not elaborate when you tell the story. And some guy that just said that, he said, I did. He wants us to see his cringy Ask Me Anything thread by a kid called me in the past. Oh my God. Here we go. Went to North Korea as a tourist 2 months ago. I saw quite a lot there, and I am willing to share the experience with you all. I have also smuggled some less than legal photos and even North Korean banknotes out of the country. Yeah, that could have been your life, dude. That could have been your life that you were giving up. Holy bing bong, baby. Okay. Oh boy. Man, North Korea is scary as hell. Why would people go there to lose their lives? Hello to everybody. And if you can hear my voice, stay out of North Korea. It's not safe. Those poor people. What an existence. Number 27. I guess I was the cause of a creepy hotel story. We had a class trip where the hotel we were staying at was actually a small collection of cabins in a woody, grassy area. Apparently, a great majority of my classmates had agreed to go on a run to a convenience store one evening, but there were maybe 6 or 7 of us who were unaware of the plans, so suddenly from our perspective, everyone was suddenly gone, and we were alone. We were going around looking for people, and we had split up. I went to my cabin, which had a balcony on it, and decided to try and survey the area to see if I could spot a teacher or one of the staff there. I saw my friends on the ground and waved at them just to say hi, let them know where I was. What I didn't realize was that I had just washed my hair, so it was long, dark, and hanging down in kind of a stringy-looking way. I was wearing a white nightgown, and from the perspective of my friends on the ground, I was backlit by the light coming from inside the room. So picture a Ring-esque girl waving down at the group of preteens in the woods who suddenly think that everyone vanished. Oh boy. Number 26. Went to a hotel and arrived at night. My brother and I went to check out the pool, and he started to chase me, pretending to throw me into the pool. So I freaked out and ran to our room. My brother was like, "No, that's not our room." And I busted in. The room was either open or unlocked because it was just sliding doors or something, and saw 2 people having sex. They sort of froze, seeing a little 5-year-old boy stare at them, and then nope right the fuck out of there. To the poor couple I accidentally interrupted, "I'm so sorry." I legit thought that it was my room and didn't mean to intrude. I hope I didn't ruin your night. They may be into that. You don't have to worry about it. 2-liter Bugatti Bieber. What a couple of 2-liter horny boys. Number 25. It wasn't ghost creepy, but just a little PSA for you jittery folk out there. If you're going to Japan and booking an Airbnb, make sure it isn't one of those tiny post-war era homes. I booked one like that last year when I went to Kyoto. Quietest neighborhood I've ever been to, and it was a second home that the owner leased out, so I was the only tenant for my 3-night stay. Everything was plywood, and because it was quiet in the little neighborhood, it felt like there wasn't anyone else for miles around. My room was lit by a single light bulb, haphazardly hanging from the ceiling, that flickered occasionally like a cheap B-horror movie. Any movement caused creaks and bumps, and the cold air made those happen constantly around me as the plywood expanded and contracted during the day. I'm just lucky The Grudge didn't come out of the fucking TV during my stay. Damn, baby. No, that's what I'm talking about. Creepy Japan. Somebody says that sounds comfy. Number 24. Mine takes place in London, Hostel, a few weeks ago. I have 2 friends with me, and we're both male. We're staying in a 9-bed mixed dorm. There's 3 sets of 3-tier bunk beds. I'm in the bottom bed of the right bunk, friend 1 in the top of my bunk, friend 2, bottom bed of the middle bunk. So, we get in at 2 a.m. and all just quietly get in our beds. After a few minutes of lying there trying to sleep, I hear rustling behind me. I'm laying on my side facing the wall, so I think it's just someone going through their bag and ignore it. Then I feel a hand on my hip over the cover. I turn around and it's a random guy telling me to move over and trying to pull at my cover. I initially thought he was drunk and wasn't sure which bed to be in, so I tell him to go find his own bed, and then he shuffles away to the bottom bed of the left bunk. Then he comes back again. I tell him to go back to his own bed, and he shuffles back to his own again. This happens another couple of times, with me gradually speaking louder and getting less polite, telling him to fuck off. So I'm shaking because the situation is making me nervous and message my mate that's on the top bunk saying I don't think I'm going to be able to sleep tonight. He messages back casually thinking it's because of someone snoring. This is when I find out that both my mates have earplugs in, and also although they've heard me speaking, they each thought I was speaking to the other friend. So I tell them the situation and he starts keeping an eye out. I hear the guy go to the bathroom that is in the suite, but I can tell from the light he left the bathroom door open whilst doing so and refused to look. My mate fills me in that the guy was walking around with his pants down and deliberately left the door open to get me to look. But either way, the guy goes back to his bed, and after we think the situation is finally over, then it happens again. My mate, keeping an eye out, shines his phone light on the floor and shouts for the guy to fuck out. Apparently, he was crawling around the floor again towards me. The guy suddenly takes offense at my mate's shining light on him and starts actually climbing the bunk ladder like King Kong to get to my mate on the top and was trying to take his phone. They wrestle for a while, and my mate actually kicking the guy in the neck to try to keep him away, only for the guy to swing backwards and come straight back at him again. I use this time to run for security, who finds the guy still hanging on the bed. When they get there, they call the police, and they have the guy taken away in a riot van and banned from the building. Whilst the police had dragged him outside waiting for the riot van, the guy even headbutted the brick wall several times. No idea what that guy was on. It was not alcohol, but definitely on something to take a kick to the neck and still act like nothing happened afterwards. The guy kept trying to blame my mate when security came, as well as saying things in broken English like, "Come up here and see how violent this guy is." What? My other mate that had slept through the whole incident kept saying the next day that he couldn't believe how friendly everyone in London was. Yeah, that was not the accent that you should have given that. What do you want from me? As we continue, we're at number 23. I was in San Juan del Sur, Nicaragua. Massive spiders all over the room. Even woke up with a couple of little scorpions in my bed the first morning. Next night, I'm sitting at the bar, drinking and chatting with a mate, and feel a tickle on the back of my neck, and think it's a mosquito or something. I brush the back of my neck, and another motherfucking scorpion, this time way bigger, plops on the ground at my feet. I stared at it for a moment in shock, squealed like a girl, squashed it, and kept drinking. This is gonna piss some people off. You killed that poor scorpion. Oh. Gah, I hate those big spiders in Nicaragua. Nicaragua big spiders. Let's Google that. Buh. Hope no one's arachnophobic. What a world. What a world. Number 22. My mom was traveling for work and sat next to a man, fellow business traveler, on a plane. They had a casual conversation and exchanged business cards. Later that evening, she's in her hotel watching TV and gets a phone call from the front desk that her husband is here and they want to know if they can give him a key to the room. Turns out, the creep on the plane was pretending to be her husband to try to get into her room. Bruh. Imagine if they didn't confirm. Jesus Christ. Someone responds, I've locked myself out of my hotel room on 2 separate occasions, at least 2 different hotels. Each time I just walked up to the front desk, told them I got locked out, and asked for a new key. Both times they gave me a key, no questions, no attempt to confirm my identity. Like, holy shit. At least ask my name or address or something. Number 21. I toured around in bands a lot in my 20s, and not once but twice I came back to my hotel room to find a turd in my shower. I was the only person with a key to the room. One was in Germany and one was in Belgium 2 years apart. Completely separate tour, completely separate crew. Someone turding up my bathroom. Now that's really creepy. Number 20. I once witnessed a thief breaking into cars in the parking lot from my hotel window. I called the front desk. They had security go outside with a big-ass stick. We had the bird's eye view as the security officer is searching for the thief, and the thief is evading him. Unfortunately, the thief got away in his vehicle. Number 19. 3 stories. In Bangalore, we booked a hotel after 18 hours spent in a night bus. We were very tired and wanted a bed and some food. The boys at the reception were kind of creepy, staring at us all the time, but we shrugged it off and went in our room at around 9 in the evening. At around 11, the lights went completely off. I tried to call reception, but the phone was out. Suddenly, the door handle to our room starts moving. I turned on the lantern on my phone, looked at the door, it was slowly opening. My girlfriend screamed, and I jumped off the bed, pushing the door back into its place. The person outside was pushing as well, so we fought like this for a little while. Then I locked the door again. 5 minutes pass, and we hear the noise again. The person outside had a key, and now they were opening the door slowly. It was so creepy. I kept banging on the door shouting, "Get the fuck out." We called the police, who eventually did nothing. We didn't sleep the whole night. Bangalore. Why y'all going to Bangalore, ladies? Come on. Come on. Come on, guys. It's also called Bengaluru. Bengaluru. Yeah. You ever been to Bangalore? Stay away from these places, my dude. Come on. We were in South, booking a hotel. My girlfriend was using the bathroom when she suddenly started screaming. I went in just in time to see a hole in the ceiling and an eye. The person ran immediately and we could hear the footsteps on the roof. Oh my God. After our 6 months travel, we were really tired of booking cheap and scary places for sleep. I had an accident and was barely moving, so I asked my girlfriend to book the nicest hotel, asked specifically for white sheets. It was my time to shine, so the hotel looked nice. I said helltel, Freudian slip. The white sheets, indeed. The guy at the reception was sleeping in a sleeping bag in reception, but whatever. We went to sleep in our white sheets just to wake up hours later, covered in ticks and bug beds full of our blood. 5 out of 7. Kayla Hampton says, I've been loving your YouTube videos. Well, I've been loving you, Kayla. Stay Kayla. Stay fresh. A Rare Orange Man says, Kyle, you're supposed to be in bed. Nigga, it's 1:24 p.m. for me. Please respect my time, which is superior to your time, Monkey Man. This isn't the you're looking for either. Amy Versetti says, hello everyone, good morning. Oh, I'm Amy, I don't put on clothes for a large amount of time. Good for you. Fire Drake says, I have a lot of freaky stories. I was in California staying in a place by myself and heard a person being shot out in the parking lot of the hotel. My room was on the ground level next to where it was. Can you believe that? As we roll up to the next, it'd probably be funnier if you could see me grabbing the mic when I did that, or whatever. Number 18. A chalet in the state of Maine, Vermont, with 3 others. The lady at the front desk was approximately 1 billion years old with cloudy eyes, and her front desk was a small table next to a recliner in a room full of knickknacks and china dolls. The actual room was what I imagine a hotel in the 40s would look like. Obviously, it had never been remodeled. The bathroom had a metal clawfoot tub. Nice. I assume it would be another closet, but we opened it and there was nothing but cold and darkness. We used the flashlight on our phones and discovered a long, wide, cement-walled hallway. I assume it was used to travel between rooms when the weather was bad, but the vibe it gave off was making the hair on the back of my neck stand up. The night went smoothly and nothing ever happened, but I still feel like I survived a night in a boring horror movie. I've tried to look for it again, but with no results. I'll have to ask my grandma, who booked me the trip. Grandma wants you dead, baby. Grandma wants you dead. The edit says, it turns out we were actually in Vermont. Still confused on the timeline of my trip, but it was Dalem's Chalet in Brattleboro. How about those words? Dalem's Chalet in Brattleboro. Darmok Angelad at Tanagra. Number 17. I was staying in Birmingham, Alabama, at a Hyatt. Nothing crazy. Nothing obviously creepy. One night around 2 a.m. I woke up to a man screaming, like stabbed in the heart screaming. I sat there in a panic, wondering if I should call someone, but then I didn't hear anything else. I chalked it up to a dream. The next night I woke up around 3 a.m. and had this horrible feeling that someone was in my room. I rolled over and there was an old man sitting on the AC, smoking, looking away from me. I stared at him for a few seconds and he turned to look at me. So I shot up out of the bed, ready to run, and no one was there. I don't lucid dream. While I have vivid dreams, they are not that vivid. I can describe that man to a T, yet he was never there? Man. Number 16. A friend and I once stayed in a pretty fancy B&B for the night. The lady who owned it was absolutely lovely, but would appear out of nowhere. We'd be sitting alone in a large room with one doorway, and suddenly she was in the room with us. Either this joint had secret doors, or something really creepy was going on. She seemed to know things that we'd said or done as well. The thing that tripped us up the most was hearing someone trying to open our door during the night. She was super lovely and the building was beautiful, but we were relieved to check out the next morning. Yeah, people really need to watch where they fucking lay their head at night, because that's when you're at your most vulnerable. And the idea that people are just like jiggling that shit to get into where you are, it's like, bruh, somebody says she was a ghost. What a reveal. Unbelievable, dude. It's fucking killing me. Whatever. Number 15. Not particularly creepy, but pretty fucking bleak. Been in Australia for about a week. Decided to go through farm to tick off the farm work for the second year visa. Arrived at this rundown house with the internal walls covered in graffiti, reminiscent of a crack den in the asshole of nowhere. All the other lodgers looked like broken men. Told that the weekly shopping run isn't for 2 more days, so here's a loaf of bread each. Start work the next day, picking runner beans, paid at $1 a kilo. I guess it's just the type of thing that they're harvesting. Busting my ass to make something like $50 in 14 hours. I slept in a crammed up bed in what we assumed used to be a living room with plain bread for dinner. I did a few hours the next day until my mate stood up like, fuck this shit, I'm not having this. And straight back to Melbourne we went. Ended up in an amazing hostel with great people earning $25 an hour with memories I'll never forget. Horror show averted. I have to be real. I bet you no matter what time of the week it is, they tell everybody, oh, the shopping run isn't for 2 more days. Just so they can keep giving people bread. It's like some shit you'd read in a story. You know what I mean? They told us that the shopping run wasn't happening soon. So we were to make do with this bread. We split it up amongst ourselves. The loaf of bread made my stomach turn, for it had been out for too long and gone bad. It had gone mouldy. We spent 14 hours in the fields picking the beans. I made $14. I made $14 for 14 hours. My fingers. As we continue, we reach number 14. Maybe says, "Hey Kyle, your lists are very comforting during low points in my life. Thank you for doing what you do, man. That's so sweet, Maybe. I appreciate you, dude or lady. Hello, Jillian." Let's continue. Family vacation, 1 a.m. My brother and I had just finished watching The Shining on TV. Neither of us had seen it before. We heard someone trying to open our door. No one else was supposed to have keys. Someone tried to swing open the door, but the hotel lock stopped them. They kept trying to open it multiple times, banging the door against the lock. After a few tries, they gave up. The hotel desk clerk accidentally entered the wrong room for their key cards. It was probably the best way I saw The Shining. I can't be scared more than that from that movie. Nice. Now that's what I'm talking about. Hey, my phone's across the room. Not that I'll need it, but I would like to retrieve it. If you'll excuse me a moment. I apologize. Sometimes the creepiest thing is a sneeze that you can't completely get out. Really? Oh boy. Number 13. Whilst in the Isles of Scotland, we stayed in a B&B. It was owned by a couple. The bedrooms were extremely well done and beautiful, but not everything there were signs to not. No, but on everything, there were signs to not touch. To use the shower, you had to ask the couple, and the internet ended at 11 p.m. Oh yeah, that is how you ruin everybody's stay at a B&B, my nigga. Thank you for the bless, Chuckster and Faith. The woman would also check on everyone at random times in the night, and we would hear creeping in the hallway to make sure everyone was sleeping. Bitch! And not doing any illegal things like using the internet. When we checked out of her B&B, she came into our room and said that we stunk, and opened the window to prove this and demanded for money immediately. Another traveler was kicked out of the B&B because the checkout time was 10 a.m. and they were forced to stand outside. She wouldn't even let them stay inside in this thunderstorm while their taxi came. Another traveler had to go check. We were in an isolated place to pay for the room, and she took their bags and wouldn't give them back. But on the way out, she asked everyone if they enjoyed their stay. Ew. Somebody said, I took a look at their TripAdvisor page, and the ownership seems to have changed to a much nicer couple since we visited in 2015. However, all the negative reviews are from before the change. The location was the Isle of Skye. Poor tree. I wish we could find that old lady and give her a slap. Get with the times, old lady, get with the times. What the fuck? Okay. We're nearly done with all of this. Number 12. I was traveling out of the country right after finishing up a huge 5-day work event where I had about 10 hours of sleep totaling during the 5 days. No, 10 hours of sleep total during the 5 days. I got to the motel, which is kind of run down, and the carpet and blankets are damp, but I'm so exhausted I don't even really think about it. The blankets are damp. I fall asleep pretty much immediately at like 8 p.m. local time. And maybe 11 p.m. or so, I get a call from the motel phone saying that there's a complaint about noise. I tell them that's impossible. I've been sleeping. They ask me maybe if someone else is in the room, and I tell them nope. I'm here alone, so there's definitely no one else making noise. They ask me again if I'm sure, and I'm by myself and not causing any noise. I say yes again. Oh no. They keep asking you if you're by yourself, nigga. And you like, yeah, I'm by myself, yeah. And they ask me again if I'm sure I'm by myself and not causing any noise. And I say yes again, and I fall back asleep. Now we're talking. Some really creepy shit. When I woke up and thought about it some more, I realized how weird the entire interaction was. There was absolutely no noise I could hear anywhere nearby. And I don't know why the motel staff would need to clarify so many times that I was alone. Apparently, they never called. So I assume it must have been someone calling the different rooms to see who is in the rooms and how many people. I'd never been so glad to always use the extra latch chain lock. Oh boy. Oh boy. Number 11. I did couchsurfing.com with a friend a few years ago. We are both big guys, so typically feel safe everywhere we go. We show up to the house and a 60-year-old guy opens the door while on the phone. He's only wearing sweatpants. He signals for us to enter. He continues his conversation and ends with an "I love you." He turns to us and says, "Welcome," and apologizes for being on the phone. He starts talking about his girlfriend who he was talking with and how she lives overseas. He mentioned he has several girlfriends and boasts about being a ladies' man. He then starts to show us pictures. These girls look like they were 14. While sliding through the pic, he accidentally showed us one of their passports. This weirded us out. We were early 20s and didn't really know what to do, so We said we were tired and just wanted to sleep. He walks us to the room while rubbing his belly, told us he was making breakfast in the morning. We decided to sleep the night, but leave before he woke up. My friend slept on the bedroom door, so he couldn't sneak in. We got up super early and bolted. We got super weird vibes from the guy and just felt gross/weird about the whole thing. Oh boy. Number 10. Four years ago. No. When I was 4 years old, my family ended up staying at the Cedar Lodge Motel where Cary Stayner worked right before he murdered 4 women. My family drove to Yosemite, and it was a long drive for us. 3 kids, all underage, plus 2 adults and a fuck ton of mountains will do that. Well, by the time we arrived at the motel, it was late. It was late. We were all cranky. Sorry, that's where the K came from. I was that ahead of myself. By the time we arrived at the motel, it was late. We were all cranky, and we couldn't wait to get out. But the moment we pulled in, something sets my mom's teeth on edge, and she insisted that we left and found another hotel, a reservation, or not. My mom has always had like this sixth sense, and her gut has actually saved us a couple of times. But my dad was tired and convinced her to ignore her gut and stay for just the night, and the next morning we'd leave. Well, I can remember my mom actually refusing to let go of our hands, making us stay right by her sides as she kept looking around while checking in. To try and get her to relax, my dad suggested we go to the pool, thinking it would calm her down. Well, when we got there was no towel, so Mom called the front desk. The moment the man delivered the towels arrived, my mom immediately grabbed us out of the water and rushed us back to our rooms. The man gave her the absolute creeps, and she says there was just this feeling of pure evil when he looked at us. That night, my mom and dad pushed the dresser in front of the door and had us all sleep in the same bed. The next morning, we left to go to another hotel, but Mom couldn't stop talking about how evil that motel was. And about 2 months later, she and my dad were up late watching the news when they started reporting on a man who had murdered a young woman and 2 young girls in Yosemite. Just as my mom began to say, I bet it was at that motel, they showed Cary Stayner's face and said it occurred at Cedar Lodge Motel. Cary Stayner was the man who brought us our towels at the pool. We've never gone back to Yosemite. My mom is always insisting that we listen to our gut feeling, and when every bone in our body is telling you something is wrong, get the fuck out. Nine more remaining. I'm going to be flying through these. In Mexico, my girlfriend and I stayed at a night in a hut in the jungle A hut in the jungle. No running water, no electricity. As we are from Central Europe, we are not used to dangerous wildlife, spiders, scorpions, etc. There are not... No. There was a beautiful sea note nearby, and at some point it rained like crazy. The daytime was amazing. The night, not so much. In our hut was a bed with a mosquito net and huge holes in it. It was pitch black in the hut, so we just laid down and got comfortable trying to sleep. I felt a bit creeped out and decided to check the hut for insects with my phone's flashlight. Bad idea. There were hundreds of big spiders all over the walls and ceiling. Not the night's sleep. I had wrapped up like a mummy every piece of clothing we had on us. Oh boy. Number 8. Oh my lord. I arrived late at a hotel for a business trip. Flight had a malfunction, so we had to land. They fixed it on the tarmac and we never deplaned. But the room was already paid for, confirmation number in hand, etc. I got there about 5 hours after I was supposed to be there. Of course, they gave away my room. I already wasn't happy from the delays and I wasn't going anywhere. The event I was there for was in their hotel. I wanted my room. I was polite but absolutely firm. They did some scrambling and asked if I would consider a damaged room under construction. As long as the sheets are clean so I can go to bed, I don't care, was my reply. Mistake. The room they gave me was literally a crime scene. The case had been closed, so there was no legal issue to contend with, but someone had been killed, or nearly killed, in that room. They had primed over the blood stains on the walls and ceiling, but had only taped down semi-clear plastic over the pooled blood on the carpets. Multiple small holes in the walls had obviously been patched and sanded, but there were multiple small holes in the walls. They gave me a completely new bed and TV from on-site inventory, so I was comfortable, but man, it was creepy as fuck. The creepiest part was the priming job. It was so obviously blood splatter. You could see where the person had been hit and where they fell. You could also see how they had tried to get up and where they had finally collapsed. Nigga, in today's day and age. Yeah, he immediately responds, this was 1999, I had a flip phone. It was a StarTAC flip phone. Very stylish for the day. I usually wore it in a belt holster like Robin Williams in the movie Hook. Isn't it hilarious and adorable how movies of the time really mold people and the stupid shit that they find cool. Moving on. I'm sure that everybody is having my exact thought as it pertains to this story, which is, if they ever tried to put us in a motherfucking crime scene in today's day and age, we would plaster this fucking hotel for giving away our room all over fucking Twitter and be like, this fuck-ass hotel put me in a damn crime scene. I gave them my business by paying for a fucking room. They gave it away because I wasn't there to check in at the right time because of my flight. And here we go in the bloody room. Check out all these pictures, dude. Oh my God, I like to think the dude who died, his name was Mitch. Mitch came to this hotel and had a bad time. Pour one out for Mitch, you know what I mean? Hashtag that man, Mitch fucked up, you know what I mean? Hashtag Mitch fucked up. Hashtag ain't life a Mitch, you know what I mean? Number 7, okay? I stayed in a B&B in Pennsylvania that seemed cute enough. They did have a wall of antique dolls in the main room, but otherwise no signs of weirdness. That's until we were settled in our room. I noticed some scratches on the door near a bookcase, and after some inspection, I realized it was a secret door. When I asked the owner, who gave a creepy vibe, if it worked, he said yes, and showed me that it opened to their office, which was a cluttered room with a computer and piles of crap. it had a lock on their side. And when I asked if there was a lock on my side, he smiled and said no. When I showed some concern that there was an unlockable entrance to my room that was camouflaged, that they didn't tell me about, he just kept smiling. So, that night, no sex out of fear of cameras, and I barricaded the fucking door and barely slept. Somebody says it was many years ago before Facebook and Twitter. Oh, what a sad world, you know? The funny thing about the world that you live in is that, and this applies to your parents too, people will do things that they know are wrong, and the only thing that's going to shame them into acting right is an audience. The only way you can bring down shame upon people who are stupid and ignorant is to get them the attention. Bruh. Hold on. It's raining, and I really enjoy that. It's so beautiful out. So beautiful. Number 6. I once stayed in a B&B which had a shared bathroom. The first night I got up at probably like 2 a.m. and I was bursting for a pee. The bathroom was down the hallway, not too far, but seemed like such an effort in my tired state. I get to the bathroom, open the door, and there's this guy standing in the bathroom, dressed head to toe in a mime costume. Face painted and everything. He was squatted down on the floor, but his trousers were still up. I looked at him for a second. He gave me a wave with a smile and began just silently pushing. I just ran back to my room, locked the door, and decided to pee in a bottle. I'm still not sure if I was just really tired and seeing things, or if it was seriously the strangest thing that I've ever seen. Bruh. Number 5. I arrive at a secluded coastal hotel south of Marmaris, Turkey, around 2 a.m. It had been a long day in Istanbul, followed by a flight and a long bus ride into Marmaris, where I haggled with a non-English speaking taxi driver who were not even aware that this small resort existed. When the taxi pulls up to the hotel, it's on fire. Damn, that must be an amazing hotel. I'm kidding. It was literally on fire. When the owner standing out front sees us, he opens the taxi door excitedly and says, "You come, I have a nice room for you." I point out that the hotel is on fire. I'm sorry. Oh man. I've noticed your hotel's on fire. Okay. Okay, I point out that the hotel is on fire, and he simply gestures and says, "Small fire, no problem. You come." I am utterly exhausted. Really? Really? I find myself following the owner into the hotel, stepping over fire hoses, waving away smoke, passing firefighters as they run up and down a very nice staircase. We pause at the second floor landing, and the owner tells me, "See, fire only on this side of the hotel. This side no fire. You come." My exhaustion removes any ounce of common sense. I follow him to a room down the hall. The room is indeed fire-free. I quickly scan "in case of fire" message on the back of the door, check the window escape, and promptly pass out with my gear and boots on. In the morning, I awake, alive, wondering if I dreamt the entire thing. I go down the smoky stairs past the charred other side of the hotel, and the owner is happy to see me still alive. He's so happy to see me alive that he eats breakfast with me. I went back a few years later and the hotel had fully recovered. Okay. I apologize. I want some Chick-fil-A. No, that's what I call creepy. Number 4. When I was 12, I was staying in a motel with my mom on a road trip. We were in the middle of nowhere in Texas at a motel that had a decent rating in our guidebook and was really cheap, so we went for it. In the middle of the night, the owner knocked on the door and told us that we had to leave because he wanted the room for someone else. My mom was outside arguing with him while I was gathering our things, and I was terrified because I heard him start yelling. I looked out the window and saw about half a dozen bikers in vests appearing out of nowhere, maybe a nearby room, and started confronting the owner. My mom came inside quickly, and we watched them start harassing the guy. Things like, she's paid to be here, you're gonna let her stay the night, and don't want to ever hear shit like this from you again. And the owner was saying things like, I don't want any trouble. What a scumbag piece of shit, bitch. I would fucking kick that cuck in the balls. Dirty bitch. Hope he gets stabbed. Just kidding. You know, that's what I would say in self-defense. No, fuck the guy. I mean, honestly, fuck him. You pay money for a thing and somebody don't give you that thing, man. Hey, man. We gotta pay somehow. You know what I'm talking about? Your life will turn into a bad mob porno movie. Like you gonna have to pay somehow. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to give up that butthole to my friend Gay Boy AIDS Rick. You know, and he all like, he's Rick Sanchez from an alternate dimension where Rick Sanchez is gay and has AIDS. You know what I'm talking about? Wow. Everybody left fairly quickly, and we didn't ever hear anything about it the next day at checkout. We weren't able to sleep very well because we were so shook up, but it was better than getting in the car again. Thank you, anonymous biker gang. It's like a Bob's Burger episode. Burger. Burger. Number 3. When I was 12, my family took a vacation to Europe. At our hotel in Rome, there was this amazing indoor pool, and being a child of my age, I would have spent the entire vacation there if I could. During one of such swimming incursions, some random gentleman, I think probably around 40 or something, comes over to me and starts tickling my feet. My mother is with me, but is preoccupied with my other siblings. He speaks English as well and starts teasing me for being ticklish, and tells me how I'm simply adorable. Through my giggles, I keep shyly asking him to stop. He doesn't, just keeps teasing me and touching my feet and lower legs. This went on for maybe 2 minutes before my mom sees what's happening and goes super protective mode and tells him to back the fuck off. 2 minutes, nigga. What is your mom doing? Looking for that dick? Berber. Number 2. In 1996, while air drying naked after a shower laying in my hotel bed, I'm in Beijing with the curtains drawn. I receive a call demanding I put on clothes. Oh boy. Oh, China. Number 1 on the list of 30 creepy hotel stories reads as follows. I found a hotel in Yangon, Burma, the day that we got there for pretty cheap. They mentioned the rates were low because maintenance was being done on several floors. We sleep fine, wake up, head to breakfast. At breakfast, We met some Germans who had also stayed the night in our hotel. They said that they had not slept well because during the middle of the night, someone woke them up to move them from the floor that they were on. We found out later that they had been moved because they were on one of the levels reserved for maintenance. Part of the maintenance included gassing the room for bugs. During the middle of the night, they were just going around the rooms, shoving the gas nozzle or whatever under the doors and letting them run. Wound up killing the two people next to the Germans before they realized they'd accidentally booked people on the floor. We weren't on that floor, thankfully. But it always stuck with me how seemingly easy it could have been to get mixed up in that. Night, night, sleep tight. Don't let the bed bug asphyxiation spray kill you at night. Or well, here's hoping you enjoyed that list. Here's hoping you have an amazing day. I kind of want to see this. This is so gay. This is what Fortnite has turned into. What the fuck? What the fuck? What is Dragon Ball Legends? Why is that trending? Paladins used the Lijiang Tower image? What the fuck? Uh-huh. Michael Davis says, I can hear all of the moisture in Kyle's mouth, more so than normal. You know, I can't remember what you're talking about. What do you mean? Moisture? What are you talking about? I'm kidding. I'm sorry. Everybody send me a message after this. Let me know how you are. I love you. I want the best for you. I'm in love with you. You know what I mean? I want to just run my hand from the top to the bottom in as creepy a way as you want it to be. But, you know, I'm not going to make it like a B&B creepy. You know, you can sleep in your room. I'm not going to go in there. You come to my room. You know what I mean? You want to get creepy. You come to my room. I'm not going to yours, bro. Because, you know, I'm all about my personal space when I want it there. So, I guess I'll see you guys soon. And I wish you an amazing day. Stay perfect. I don't care about Transformers cosplay with the dumb kids. I want to see WTF. Anything is possible, it says. Let's see. We got cow. We get door open. Guy step out. Guy go, wait, what are you doing? Oh, he feed cow. They're trying to bait that cow into that car. Oh Oh my god. Do you want shit in your car? Oh my god. What do you bait a cow with? What do you bait a cow with? What will a cow eat? What will a cow eat right in front of you if you drop it? Somebody says there's still a person in the backseat with that cow. I wonder what that's like. Somebody says, having been back there with OP's mom, I can tell you it gets a bit crowded. Someone says you were so close, it gets a bit cowded. What an impossible comment section. Impossible, guys. Impossible, guys. Because okay, I'll end this video now. Send me a message and tell me I'm pretty. Later. Bye.